No one seemed weak. Sup? Welcome to the new Lantern Valley studio room.
The first time we've ever called it the Lantern Valley room, because it always before was the TV room or something like that.
Yeah, which barely made sense, but there is a TV in the armoire that's never been used and it's unplugged and just sits there. Otherwise, yeah, Lantern Valley room. Probably recognize this corner and those walls, those pictures, as the place we used to have our little summary packages and our little YouTube videos. We did a batch of YouTube videos, and this is where we recorded them all. But now it's the new workstation coming from Anthony's room, brand new and fresh to be seen. You could probably explain this.
Yeah, so over here I got my computer on the boxes as usual. Various drawing pads, thing to stand on. I have my whiteboard full of lists.
Lists for days.
This is my dice rolling thing, which, so, you know, that's that. Here's a list of World 9 things to draw. So James is green, I was blue, but we've kind of altered that around a bit. This is the Wall of Fame, and
This is our new table workstation.
this was in my room before. This little wheelie thing, which I use a lot for drawing, and this knee chair, it's really good. Table here is now accessible with 3 chairs.
It's our new workstation, which we haven't really had a solid, functional team workstation in this room for a long time. This was here, but it was you couldn't really get to it. This wasn't here, so we didn't have room for proper storage of papers and whatever else we need. So yeah, now we can actually sit here across from each other and pile things everywhere.
And what I like about my space too is I actually have lots of table space, which I use this couch, and I just one paper's on there stuck to it like glue. So it's as big as James's workstation, which we'll go to pretty soon. There's a piano back here, which we kind of...
It's our shrine now.
It's our shrine with LV and our favorite TV shows and movies and such.
Yeah. And this is that little thing. These are now accessible from out here, which is great, because these used to be... This is the sacred drawer that has all of our Hellsville Heroes information of every world, just piles of stuff. But every one of these covers is loaded with things. And this is all accessible from here. It used to be crammed on facing the other way, and my station here was taking up tons of space with all these dresser things that it wasn't even using really well. So now we're actually using it.
This is our little camera spot where we put all the batteries and stuff.
Yeah, our battery guy's main station.
It's really convenient because before it was kind of just amongst papers and whatever, but now it's this perfect little spot for it.
Yeah, these baskets that we used to have World 9 and World 26 stuff in, and we kind of took them out and we organized them into these bundles and stuff. So eventually these will fill up again, and then we gotta put them back in the bundles. And yeah, this is just workstation. This is actually operational now. That's where that glass thing came from, and I used to have all my stuff on there, which I didn't need. So now I can actually use this as a drawing and writing spot that doesn't hurt my shoulder, because if I ever wanted to draw on it, it was up here.
It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was goofy. So I always had to leave if I wanted to doodle something off my computer.
His computer now actually has the monitor in front of him instead of having to look to the right all the time.
Yeah, these setups are just much better.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Here's a super sneak peek of a character from World 26. Basically, this was the first attempt after we discussed some ideas. This is the little girl Tifa, and she is kind of almost holographic-y or something. Not really, but when light hits her or some kind of expression hits her and she comes in contact with it, the light passes through her and it kind of distorts her a bit, as if she's not fully solid in the world. And then so this is an attempt at just doing it with pencil, and this is going to be way more understandable with color, but the characters have little grid patterns on them that help them stabilize in whatever frequency bubble thing they end up in. And these are this isn't like armor or whatever. It'd make way more sense with color because all these lines are mostly just darkened lines into their clothing. But yeah, that's a little sneak peek at some of the initial doodles of what will be happening in this world that we're still working on. And
yeah, and so then there's the magnetic board, which we pointed out earlier.
one of the things too is we added to the magnetic board, which used to be just under a table in my room.
Right.
Some things like an old Rise and Tanky scene and old initial draft of like one of the first treasure tales we tried working on, which was Dune World 26 or World 16. So yeah, just we used to have HH bubble maps up there as well and a couple other things. But it's just some place to put the things and remind us like where things have come from. Same with like old Lantern Valley poster, which is quite outdated and like that thing is super old when we were first trying to map out some of the Lantern Valley itself. But now it's up there and it's kind of a cool little thing to remind us of like, yeah, this is what it's all for.
Yeah. And we got these mirrors down here which are helpful for looking at ourselves for reference for different things.
Oh, Maui and Thragtusk, just because.
Yeah. You've probably seen our dog in other videos. Our mom's dog. And I've drawn her here as being half boar, half Magic the Gathering Thragtusk character. And
it's a nickname I gave her because she's a terror. And so when I puppy sit her, when our mom takes traveling or whatever and I have to take care of this dog, I try and train it and I nickname it Thragtusk. And one day I want it to respond to only Thragtusk. Secretly. So yeah, this is the Lantern Valley room.
official and approved.
So here we are in the second part of the LV workstations. This is my room, which previously was in other videos and had a computer in it and all kinds of... It's always changing. I mean, I've changed my furniture around like every week. But now it's officially changed a little bigger with having basically just this side of the room is basically a bed. But then here we have various references to that we're using for World 26 and then World 9. So I have this divided. Up here, this whole thing used to be a mess, but actually it's phenomenal now. On top here is each world collected books. So 30 piles of a lot of different books. I have it blocked by Norman Rockwell images, so I don't have to just look at books. And yeah, there's some down there too. That side of the closet has a TV with a game station in it. Then over here we have National Geographic collection, all kinds of other references, various things. Magnet boards. See, this is 2, like in the other room has 1. 8 feet galvanized steel by 3 feet or whatever. So I have 2 here.
This used to be spanned with all the images before we put them in those bundles. They were all up here, and we could look at them that way, but they weren't exactly like movable and usable because they were displayed instead of like on paper.
Which we talked about. We've probably mentioned this in other talks, but ref blocks. And we've created these things which are 11 by 17. We're now going to make 12 by 18 ones because those are the size that the treasure tails are going to be. It's like this, but an inch bigger on each side. These are illustrations by Tom Babby, who's a Watsitilier instructor, who I'm taking a course from right now. But what I did with some of these blocks is that they're divided into squares, and so they're easy to cut out. But where you see this one was an odd shape. And we actually had to cut off like part of something, because I tried to cram so much on a paper. But now that we're going to start dividing things per page, it's much easier if I can cut these out in like very simple ways to organize the pages once we know where the ref blocks should go.
Yeah, we gather all those references, make a sheet like that, print it, and then when we go through the pages, we can actually grab something like with Noah's, there's a lot of elements. So we would grab something like, oh, this fire element works well here. So we would cut it out and put it there. But the way these were organized didn't work.
There's another galvanized steel wall that has various things on it.
Those are the silhouettes to World 9 people.
It's good when you have
Pictures.
more art than you know where to put it on your walls. In this area, we have various easels, and here we have Dean Cornwell sketch study. This is a Mark Schultz study of these crabs, which we talked about, World 9 crabs. I have a bunch of crabs, so I'm doing some studies. Gouache painting right now and various little comps before I started the big picture on this one. There's more books behind here divided into inspirational art and anatomy books, which don't really have a place as a like reference. So like if I had a book on crabs, it would go in the World 9 section. Anatomy and arts books in that way don't really have a place for that. So so this is my gouache painting. This is sketch paint or sketching. This is a bunch of paper. And my still life setup is up here. Well, I have all the objects up there, but I have the ability to turn on this light and have this still life set up here, so I can draw or paint from objects like the skulls or whatever that I have down there.
This is barely a bedroom. It's more like a studio.
And then this is my painting setup, which these are on. This is like multiple tables on different things, and so there's boxes here, like the boxes in my other station. So I decorated Norman Rockwell around here, which I should actually do with the other station because it looked nicer too. Painting setup, standing painting, and then I just have table space for doing other things.
Everything else. Table space. Both of our rooms have actual table space now, which is amazing.
Yeah, and this is very spacious and open, and
It's funny how we call it that, despite probably others might not think it is, but this is really spacious, like compared to what it used to be. You can actually go down
Yeah.
these cracks and stuff now.
I actually wasn't able to reach the wall before, so that's a bonus.
Yeah, we've crammed ourselves many, many times.
If you look back
Like I said.
here, there's more books and Norman Rockwell pictures covering them. Because these are all books, it's like I'm not going to touch those books until we random number generate that world 1 to 30, and then that'll be my time to go through that stuff. So right now it's like my time to go through the books I have right now, and it's a good way to sort it. It keeps it like, it stopped me from getting more books because I'm like, I have too many books. What am I gonna, in a way, I've got some books since actually, but
it is endless when it comes to like art books and just cool references and whatever else may be. It's like you can keep getting them forever. So now that we have these worlds, we can actually just get the stuff for that specific world instead of everything at once.
For some specifics here, we have World 26, which is, we're basing off Krishnamurti's teachings and music, as well as kind of the style of like Mozart and
Mozart messed with like Aztec and high tech technology stuff.
Yeah, so when I divided that up for my book section, I put various Krishnamurti books here. I have a Plato, all the complete works of Plato. I have all kinds of music books, U2 or other kind of music history, and then just like some kind of things that were a certain style, things like that. For World 9, it was like Bruce Lee books, Tai Chi, Qigong, Dalai Lama, Calvin and Hobbes, and Zelda book, Avatar: The Last Airbender because it's related to elements. Then we have Dean Cornwell and stuff, and Mark Schultz because he has the crabs and various things. And
Wind
the
Waker is also
style.
involved, hence the gaming station was kind of handy.
Yeah, and I set that up to play Wind Waker for these last 4 months or 3 months. So
Yeah,
that's
and this is just our table.
and this is my table during the day and my bed at night.
Yeah, we both have just one big table that sits in the middle of the room that we could sleep on later.
Yeah, so that's pretty much this workstation now. And
As you can tell, it's a bit messier than mine. Mine is just like tables and papers. Anthony actually has like art setups and like things like that.
yeah,
My room is like bed, that's a table, and then I just have a bunch of other tables with papers.
Yeah.
Anthony is like bed as a big table. Every other table has a station on it of some sort.
Yeah. You know, you may have thought it was bigger than it actually is, but this is how big it is.
Another thing in the hallway here is these are the boxes that all of our World 9 stuff used to be in. There's like all the sorts of write-up about who these characters are, what they do, etc. That's some character design boxes and things. This is the stuff we organized, took pictures of, and now we can put each of the different characters in the outfit they're supposed to have. Like, that might be an outfit she wears in like multiple scenes, and you need to put that in each page. So yeah, that's where all this stuff ends up. These boxes.
Yeah, so those are the boxes, and we decided, okay, let's divide it into pages, you know, and simplify what we have in boxes.
Yeah.
So,
So you walk out from Anthony's studio into the Lantern Valley room, and then I'm down the hall, and this is Lantern Valley Studios.
This
where all
is
the
it.
work happens.
This is it.
And that's the kitchen. Where the other stuff.